the energy of the now is something that a lot of people have been talking about for years. And finally, some of this stuff is starting to come up. And we're at the point of no return, the point of irreversibility. It's like the energy has been set in motion, and now it's about the physical landing. And this is what people also call like manifesting. We've been manifesting this eruption of change, and it's starting to become seen through the physical form. So there's a lot of people scared, and I see the collective right now in groups of 3. I see one group, which is the thought leaders and the teachers, the ones who were born with that starseed energy of a specific mission on Earth. And then you have the second group of people that are in limbo, and they have a sense of knowing, but they also kind of don't know which God to praise. And I use the word God loosely. Media, the work Lord, career Lord, media, health Lord. There's so many institutions that are telling you what to do. And so these people are like kind of wanting to wake up, but then still influenced. You have that wave. And then you have the people who are content with the role that they have been given. So they're not questioning anything. They're abiding by the rules, and they are following everything. Where they're essentially asleep. They have no idea what's going on, right? And I've been doing this for about 8-10 years professionally, and I've been studying the occult for well over 50. Actually, I've been studying it my whole life. I was never asleep. I was never a person who was asleep to the point where I did really bad in school, because I knew in my soul that I was being chipped off, and I did not want to allow that. So I was a straight F student. But what I want to say in this video is that the shifts that are happening now has all tiers unsettled, because the people who, the teachers and the leaders, to a sense, are like, is this still the same curriculum, or do we kind of shift up and change up a little bit our curriculum, right? And the first group is also reassessing their world, and they're noticing that the second group is now more clear. So the people who've been in between are decided now. So we have a lot more people on this side, and we have a little bit of people on that side. Nevertheless, they're decided. And then you have the third wave of people that, how are they handling it? The people who are, and here's the thing is, when you're called to wake up, when you're called to come into spiritual maturity, it's not an option for the most part. When the collective's karma is involved, when the Earth's trajectory is involved, you don't really get a choice. You're going to see the reality and the truth of the place and the world that you're in. So these groups of people, I have a lot of empathy for them, because they're struggling. They wanted to stay in their space, but it's out of frequency to where Earth is going. And I guess you could say to the Pluto and Aquarius energy that contributes to the age of Aquarius. I know there's a lot of people saying that we're like straight up, this is the age of Aquarius, and I think that we're working our way into it, right? But for sure, Pluto and Aquarius has set in motion the change, okay? So what happens when you approach a person who doesn't want to wake up? You're approaching them, you come up to a person and you rattle their belief systems. They're going to defend that till the end, because that's their sense of security. A person's belief systems is what they've banked their entire life in. So when something like this comes around, people naturally get very defensive, but there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide. We've broken down the illusion of healthcare industry. We've broken down the illusion of the GOV. We've broken down the illusion of education. We've broken down the illusion of security, as a society and as a whole. And the last one, which is going to be huge, the last one is religion. And that's the last program. That's the last programming. And that's a huge wave. That's a 4,000 year program of generation after generation after generation after generation who has subscribed to the wave of religion. And that's going to be huge. But the thing is that what's happening right now, the shifts that are happening, are meant to bring you back into order to who your soul essence is, to yourself as a species, as a human collective. I'm going to read something to you, okay? When asked, ignore my glasses, when there was a roll call done of all the alien species in the heavens, right? All of them, what do they do? What are their gifts? What are their talents? Most of them are super techie, the aliens up there. They're scientific, their technology is out of hand, but they don't have certain things that the human does. The human, even though we are human, we're still a species out in the cosmos. And if I start talking about it and crying, you guys just ignore anything that comes out of these eyes, because it's me. These are the qualities that the human race carries together as a species. Never mind race, never mind any of that, never mind society. It's the gifts that the human race carries. They are the only human being to have full empathy senses, full psionic abilities, and I'll share what that is, and have experienced quantum probability control. Okay? Psionic definition. So the human species has these abilities. Telepathy, the ability to read or communicate with other minds. Telekinesis, the ability to move objects using mental energy. Clairvoyance, the ability to perceive events or objects beyond normal sensory input. Precognition, the ability to foresee future events. Psychokinesis, the ability to influence physical systems or objects with their mind. Now, what is quantum probability control definition? It is manifestation and materializing. Creation out of the mind, out of an idea from thin air, me and you can bring form to it. There's no alien species out there that can do that. You can. Regardless of what anything looks like, you've got that. This is for when you need to hold fear and break through the belief systems of who you are. If something has come to you and said, you cannot be this, you cannot create, you cannot get educated, you cannot get healthy, you cannot be in your light, you cannot have your human abilities available to you, this is not accessible to you. Anything that has said no to you, you're breaking those belief systems right now. And religion has been one of them. I'm going to read you something else. If you're inside Cosmic Alchemy Academy, which is my group lectures, I wrote this in our portal for the Aquarius new moon. The age of Aquarius, this is the definition. Responsible freedom of self-determination. Becoming truly self-confident and free. Unconditionally taking responsibility for oneself without being coerced into accepting some higher authority. The point of this life and the human life is sovereignty, freedom. No one should be your authority. You should be able to drive yourself. So when the fear comes up, you have to ask yourself, where am I not taking responsibility for myself? More to come soon.